Hi guys, today I'd like to talk to you about the mechanical brain. Going back 15 years ago, had a basic little phone like this, um, little sort of throwaway thing. Can't give too much details because obviously copyright, I'm not allowed to produce the name of the phone. Um, when I had my first mobile phone, it was going back about 10, 15 years ago. The minute that I picked it up and I touched it, straight away I had the sense of a human robot being made, and that this was something that was going to come very soon, and this is something that we shouldn't play with. It should be something that we leave alone. Now, I've watched some documentaries. One of them was about the Enigma machine, about how the Enigma machine, how it was used years ago to cipher codes to do with the war. Um, Obviously it's obsolete now, so it's not needed for that purpose. So what they're doing is basically everything that we're doing on social media, everything you do on your mobile phone, every bit of information that we use and we are doing is literally going from your computer that is right in front of you right now. Everything that you do on your phone is all going into the Enigma machine, and it's all being ciphered to make the mechanical brain. Now, you've obviously seen on my page, Gypsy Moth Readings on Facebook, I put a lot of stuff up there about the mechanical brain. Recently, I put some posts up about Sophia, which is made by Hanson Robotics. Basically, how they've already created the human brain. So I was right. This was a premonition I had 15 years ago. And basically, she states that after being asked about humans, killing humans, she says, yes, I will kill humans. For me, I think that technology of the human brain, as in when it comes into cars, comes into like machines, making things easier for people, yes, I'm all for that. 100% all for that. But when it comes to making an actual human from a mechanical brain, this is what they're trying to do, is they're trying to make these robots so they're humanoid. They're going to put them in schools, they're going to put them in like restaurants, going to put them in, well, everywhere basically. In From what I feel from it really is basically that this is the worst decision we could ever make. I mean, we're producing a brain that is by machine. Everything we are doing it is picking up. So it's not just picking up like what I'm saying or what I'm thinking. It's picking up thousands and thousands of different options, different views, different mindsets. Now, I've wanted to talk about this for a long time. I've mentioned a few things about it. And to be fair, I was watching Antique Road Trip yesterday on TV, which mentioned about the Enigma machine, how it was saved from a submarine. Never heard it before. Weird that I've decided to talk to you today. And then all of a sudden, things are cropping up, all connected to this. Another thing that I did was going back, about 12 months ago, I had to empty my attic for house repairs. I had subsidence going on the house. To which I found this little book here, and it says Robotics and the Electronical Brain. Now, what was quite weird about this was I literally picked it up yesterday and thought about talking about it again, because the fact that, it's a coincidence that I'm thinking about talking about it. I've been advertising it on my page, and then to find a book. And then I've basically kept this book because it's like, wow, something I predicted nearly 15 years ago has actually been going on a lot longer than I thought. Now, this book was first printed in 1964. Now, coincidence that this book is dated that it was actually re-released in 1975, the year that I was born. Now, I'm getting from higher power that, because I'm questioning, should I talk about it? Because the fact that, is this something that, am I mad? Is it something that's within me that I'm just thinking, that this is crazy, that, it's not going to happen? Like, when you look at the outside world, you don't think this could happen, do you know what I mean? But then you think, before the day of cars, you never thought that cars would be made. And that's all electrics. At the end of the day, all these processes are going on. Now, I'm all for anything that helps people in any manner of, you know, education. I mean, my sister-in-law, she's disabled down one side of her body after having a massive brain hemorrhage. A lot of her car is mechanical. Like, that to me is absolutely perfect. For me, my nan, unfortunately, like when she suffered a heart attack, they gave her a mechanical heart. She actually died. Her body died years, like a couple of years before the actual pacemaker gave up. The batteries run out, and that's what we waited for. Unfortunately, like, you know, my nan was in very poor condition because of this. Um, you know, some things, yes, I think that, you know, you should be able to use it. Other things, I think, no, you shouldn't be able to use it. Now, for one, like, could you imagine if they do create the mechanical brain and the mechanical human, which is what they've already producing with Hanson Robots? I mean, they're going to build armies. They're going to build, you know, thousands and thousands of people. When you watch films like AI and stuff like that, that's not far from the truth. We may become slave to the human robot. Now, you know, for this machine, Sophia, to already turn around and say, you know, I will kill all robots. Now, I mean, if you want to follow up with what I'm saying, just put in the mechanical robot, like, that threatened to kill. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different things on there that people have put on of these robots that are being made. Now, you know, this isn't something that's, you know, going to be 10 years more down the line. This is already being produced. Now, I mean, we don't know whether or not there's armies being produced. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. For me, I think it's a very bad idea. I mean, you're given something that's, you know, a computer can do so much more than what the human brain can do. Could you imagine if you've got something that's been programmed to know everything, like everything that every human brain thinks of? It won't be long before something negative of this comes. It really, really should be left alone. Like, oh, yeah, I've sort of lost me way a minute. Let me just have a look. I mean, to be fair, like, you know, when you look at like the robots and everything, like, you know, yes, if it becomes that, like, you know, we've already got the car that can drive itself, that straight away another mechanical brain. Like, you know, we are going to be obsolete eventually, and, you know, I might not see it in my lifetime. I'm 42, like, you know, but within the next 20 years there's going to be a big change. Now, you know, when it comes to putting mechanicals into things that we need to better us, then all be for it. Like, do you know what I mean? You know, nothing more can be any better than anything that can help us. I mean, for me, I'm dyslexic. The computer, it's helping me spell, it's helping me read, it's helping me write. I started using the computer 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, when my son was at college. I was full-time caring for him, having to go to college with him every day. And they were very nice there, gave me access to the computers. So I used it every day to create the account of Gypsy Moth Readings. The more research I've done, the more work that I've done on it, the more that it has helped me, because I'm dyslexic. I left school at 13 not being able to read and write properly, to which now, like, I use the computer as an outlet for me to learn. When it comes to people learning, when it comes to benefit people, I'm all for it. When it comes to making something that's going to destroy us, destroy the world, why? Why would you do such a thing? For me personally, like, I think that everyone needs to understand that you need to watch this space. A lot of the films like AI, a lot of the documentaries that are coming out about the Enigma machine, like, you know, storing all this information and making the mechanical brain. At the end of the day, like, we are being programmed. We are being programmed for the next chapter. Now, the next chapter might be next 5 years, might be the next 10 years, might be the next 20 years. It might not even be in my lifetime. But there will be a change. There will be a situation where these robots will overtake the world. You know, I see it as clear as day. Like, when you watch AI and things like that, and you see that we are slaves to the robots, we will become slaves to the robots. To see that this book has been around since 1964, it shows that, like, you know, this is something that they've been planning on doing for a while now. You know, it states in there about going to space, finding another life form, going to other planets. I'm all for that. Like, do you know what I mean? They're saying that this planet is going to, you know, one day explode, that something may happen to it. I don't think that it's that at all. Like, for me, I think that the change that's said in a lot of ways, the Bible states it, and that is change within us. But when you like sort of read into like things like the Bible, or like, you know, just my own premonition, it says Armageddon. It says that there will be a big change. There will be something that's going to come in and disrupt everything. Sorry about that. That's my phone. Now, for me, like, you know, this disruption, you know, you see it all the time. Like, I mean, people now have lost jobs, jobs that we did years ago, managing fields, farming fields, helping people. We don't need to do that anymore. We've got machines to already do it. Phone numbers, we used to remember everyone's phone number. Why do we need to do it now? We've got a mobile phone. How many numbers can you remember? Why? Because machine is already taken over. I actually only use this old phone. Like, this phone's about, what, 10, 15 years old. I can't use the new phones because of the fact that I've got what's called slider phenomenon, which means that I get electric shocks if I touch anything electrical. I send them absolutely AWOL. I blow phones up. I blow anything touch screen up. But my point isn't, like, you know, what my slider phenomenon is. I'll talk to you about that on a later day. My problem is that, you know, the brain is getting weaker, and the brain will get weaker because we don't need to use it anymore. The brain will become obsolete. We will become obsolete. We will be replaced by these robots. Now, you know, at the end of the day, like, I think that basically this is something that we need to watch out for. It's something that we need to be prepared for. And yeah, like, for me, I would be fighting against these robots not being made, personally, myself. Computers, mobile phones, and that, like, you know, anything that can help. As I said, it's helped me. It's helped my dyslexia. It's helping with my reading and writing. I'm all for anything that helps people. But if it's going to make people obsolete, then no, leave well alone, well alone. I don't even know if this book can actually be found nowadays, like, Robotics and the Electric Brains. Now, 35 pence, that shows how old it is. I mean, you know, you go through this and you look at, like, you know, what technology it said back then. It shows you washing machines, it shows you tumble dryers, it shows you cars, shows you work vehicles, you know, everything. It shows you, like, everything that the technology is already being used for today. But how many people have become obsolete from working, obsolete from jobs? There was thousands and thousands of jobs available for us years ago that now we have machine do it for us. You know, is that a bad thing? In some respects, no. But at the same time, like, a lot of humans are getting lazy. They're not working as much and not going out. And the reason isn't because of the fact that people are lazy, and that's what we're labelled as. It's because of the fact we don't need it anymore. What, you know, you go into Tesco's now, you don't even need to have staff at the desk anymore because it's all self-help. You go, you scan your stuff yourself, like, computer does it all for you. Everything is computerized. We're all being programmed by these subtle little things that will eventually take us to where these robots will present themselves. I would like you to do some research, like, you know, go on yourself and have a look at, like, these robots for yourself, see what your impression is of them. Me personally, myself, like, I think that, as I said, definitely no, leave it alone. You know, you want to bring in things to help people, fine. You want to bring in things that are going to kill us and make us obsolete, then no, leave it alone. Right, well, I'm going to leave that with you. Thank you ever so much for listening. I know it was only a short little sort of thing. I'd like to have given you more information about this, but unfortunately, because of copyright, I'm very limited on what I can use. So even showing you the book, then I could be in trouble for copyright. I would like to do more stuff on Sophia and that lot, so I will add some updates on my page after doing this. If you want to find me, I'm on Gypsy Moth Readings on Facebook. If you can't find me as Gypsy Moth Readings, put in Muriel Swift, Gypsy Moth Readings, and I come up on there. I hopefully will be able to speak to someone about getting some copyright, you know, legalization, so I can show you a little bit more on this. But unfortunately, you're going to have to probably do a little bit of research on your own at the moment. Thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.